Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacting with INS Arihant and his message on this historic feat by the Strategic Forces Command, India's first nuclear ballistic missile submarine INS Arihant has completed its first deterrence patrol. Sreeram Chaulia, strategic affairs writer and thinker, is joining us as of now. Sreeram, I'll come to you, but it was a very important mantra that Prime Minister concluded this entire speech with. He said, Rashtra Raksha Samam Punyam, Rashtra Raksha Samam Vartamam, and Rashtra Raksha Samam Yagyo Drishto Nevacha, which particularly emphasizes the 4 years of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, indicating that protection of people of India is of paramount importance. But strategically, Sreeram, how significant is this?
Strategically, Aditya, I would say that it was very necessary for our credibility to be a would-be great power, to have the triad. We have land-based nuclear launch capability through missiles. We have strategic bombers, aircraft that cannot deliver by air, but we didn't have this ability of being able to launch defensive nuclear weapons through water, from underwater. So I think INS Arihant's deterrence tour and its operationalization is a very big landmark for on the way to India becoming a great power. So that's one. And I think the Prime Minister, Aditya, also referred to a very interesting phrase. He said, Bharat kabhi kisi ko chhedta nahi, lekin koi hame chhede to hum unhe chhodenge nahi. So this is a very interesting, statement
Absolutely.
of strategic deterrence, because what he's saying is, the Indian Ocean region, Indo-Pacific, and he mentioned Indo-Pacific. So clearly the reference is to China. Nuclear-powered submarines of China have been prowling the Indian Ocean region for the last few years. In the past, they even docked in Colombo Harbor, right at the tip of southern India. So I think for deterrence, to show that we are in a capacity to be able to push them back, or at least that we are also players in the region, and it cannot be converted into a big Chinese lake, as the Chinese have been dreaming of, and to try and occupy all the strategic space around us, to have this triad capacity through INS Arihant and more. We need much more, actually. We are still under-equipped, I would say, to be able to match the encroachment and the penetration of the Chinese Navy into our near waters. So I think in that sense, today it's a very big milestone, and we are all looking forward to enhancement of our overall naval capabilities. We are still lagging behind in aircraft carriers and, by the way, even in submarines. So this is a good first step. It's an important step, and we are also able to show the world that we can provide not just economic prosperity, but also a net provider of security. That's been Prime Minister's mantra for the last 4 years, Aditya, and to be a net provider of security, smaller countries in the region are looking for balance, and they need some alternative to the Chinese juggernaut that is overshadowing everything else. So I think to have a nuclear-powered capable
that's
India
going to be my second question. Sreeram, since you mentioned China, I want to bring in the Indo-Pacific angle also into this, because, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of talk about emphasis on Indo-Pacific since the US termed the, terminology as well. And it is referred to as Indo-Pacific now. And the entire encirclement has, troubled China to a great extent. So how do you see this, the encirclement of the Indo-Pacific and now this, strategic capability of India? How will China look into it? It will be carefully monitoring developments?
Oh, definitely, Aditya. Whether it is intercontinental ballistic missile or a nuclear-powered submarine, these are strategic game changers which automatically draw the attention of existing great powers in the region. So when India equips itself and announces it proudly and defiantly that, nobody can mess around with us, it is a statement that will be closely studied by planners in China, which has the largest naval capability in the whole of Asia right now.
Right.
And I think we also need to cooperate with Japan, with Vietnam, with the Philippines, with Indonesia. That is how we will be able to build a network that will break free of any...
All right, Sreeram. Sreeram, thank you very much for joining us.